I am feeling slightly under the weather, but that is not going to stop me because I want cookies. I saw these weeks ago and I have not been able to stop thinking about them, so I feel like today is the day. I'm gonna make chocolate sprinkle sugar cookies. I'm gonna link the recipe down below in the description so you can see the exact measurements and ingredients. My oven is preheating to 350 Fahrenheit. I have my sheet trays all lined with parchment. They are ready to go. Let's get started. Time to get your mixer out. My stand mixer is a little too big for this size of batch of cookies, so I'm using a bowl and my hand mixer. You can do this by hand, but if you do, God bless. Hope you have some good arm muscles. To my large bowl here, we're gonna start off with the classic cookie recipe. I'm going to cream my butter, room temperature butter, and I'm gonna whisk this around for like maybe 3 or 4 minutes. Just wanna get it nice and fluffy. To my butter, I'm gonna add my sugar. Yeah, it's a lot of sugar, but these are sugar cookies. I didn't say they were diet cookies. I'm gonna mix this together. Ideally, I should have probably creamed these together, but it's all good. Do this, I'm gonna add my egg, boop, some vanilla extract, mix this up. In this bowl, I have my all-purpose flour and cocoa powder. I was just a big dummy and I got too excited and I forgot to actually sift the cocoa powder in here, so there are little chocolate lumps, but that's okay. I just mix them together. To this mixture, I'm gonna add my salt and baking soda and combine those. I'm gradually going to mix my dry into my wet. I usually don't like to do it all at once, even though I'm sure it'll be perfectly fine if you do. I usually go in thirds, or I'll probably do half in here. Start off slow with your mixer. You don't want this going everywhere. And in goes the rest of it. And I'm gonna mix this up until it is just combined. I don't want to overmix this batter. And there we go. I've got this kind of stiff, but it's kind of wet and sticky, but look, I can just form it with my hand. That's what I want. You can give these little beaters to your resident beater liquor. That would be me, so I'm saving these for later. I'm gonna go in with my spatula just to get the edges and make sure everything from the bottom is also incorporated. Now for the fun part, which are the sprinkles. Think of this cookie like a snickerdoodle. We're gonna roll it around in sprinkles like you would cinnamon sugar for a snickerdoodle. So in a bowl here, I'm using nonpareils because I feel like that's the appropriate sprinkle for this cookie. You can use regular sprinkles, but I think these are kind of ideal for it because they are so tiny and they're perfect little balls. They'll stick better than regular sprinkles and they'll probably look better. And plus these will stay nice and crunchy when baking, which also gives a nice texture to the cookie. And because I'm always a little extra, I love gold. And so I'm gonna be putting in a little bit of some gold sanding sugar in here. And I think that'll work nicely to kind of fill in the gaps that the sprinkles leave, because like, how bad can gold glitter be, you know? I have my cookie scoop here that I love to use for all of my cookies. This is a 2 tablespoon measure. Just gonna roll it into a ball, plop it in my sprinkles, and cover it. Put it right on my baking sheet and just keep on going. You wanna make sure you leave enough room. These will definitely spread out. A couple inches in between should do ya. And when they do spread out and bake, they're gonna give that crackle kind of look, especially when they cool. It'll be really pretty. I'll see how 6 works. So I'm gonna pop these into my preheated oven. I'm gonna start checking at 10 minutes. You know your oven, see how they go. It's good to test. I think the recipe calls for like 11 to 12 minutes, but I'm gonna start at 10. I mean, look at these things. These were in the oven for 11 minutes, and I think it's so hard to tell with chocolate cookies, but I think we're good. They're starting to crinkle a little bit. As they cool, they will deflate a little more as well, and they'll start to crinkle even more. I'm definitely gonna wait a few minutes before I try to move these onto a cooling rack. And because I forgot to put it into the rolling mixture, I'm gonna top these off with a little bit of flaky salt, because it just wouldn't be a cookie of mine without the flaky salt. The gold is really doing it for me. I am glad that I made that decision. The time has come for me to try one of these. They're still warm, so it's exactly how I like them, but cool enough for me to eat. They're so pretty. Look at that. And look how the gold just fills it right in, and the back is cool too. Like, everything is covered. You know it's gonna be crunchy, but the inside is gonna be chewy. They baked up perfectly. That salt is a perfect addition, as per usual. These are good. The crunch that those nonpareils give this is beyond. It goes so well with how chewy the cookie is. I will definitely be making these again. Perfect time for holiday baking. And they're so simple to make. And the house smells good. Ooh, I bet these would be really good with coffee in them. Chocolate and coffee, yes. I bet these would be good with like peanut butter too. Ooh, these would make really good like ice cream sandwich cookies. I need to stop. Cinnamon would be really good in these too. Chocolate and cinnamon, very good. Any way you make them, you can definitely play with them. There is room for experimentation, but you should make these. Enjoy.